Hi guys, welcome back to Hair Dry Treatment. The Soph and Meg show is back. This time we're doing a Q&A special. On Twitter obviously we asked for some of your questions and me and Meg are going to have a go at answering them. Meg, good evening, how are you doing?
Hi everyone, thank you firstly. So many questions have come in as well, so thank you for everyone who got involved so far already, but good evening so far.
I know. So as you say, we've had a lot of questions, not all of them football based. I've had a few random ones as well. A few on politics and stuff like that, which I have no idea about, but I'll have a go at answering anyway. And the way this is going to work, obviously we've both received questions, so we'll take it in turns in directing a question at each other. We've both made a note of what we feel are the best ones. And yeah, obviously in the chat as well, feel free to join in, give us your answers as well, because as always, we like to hear what you guys have to say. Meg, you're my guest, as always, so I'm going to let you start with the questions. We literally do not know what the questions are for each other, by the way. It's like Meg's had different questions to me, so a bit unknown. So it should spark a good debate. So, Meg, fire away.
I'm going to give you one of my own to start with.
Okay.
And it's an obvious topic that we're going to be talking about, but have Spurs done the right thing by sacking Poch and bringing in Jose?
Have they done the right thing? I said this on a tweet earlier, to be honest. Jose Mourinho is a champion. Pochettino, I think, is a good manager, but Jose Mourinho is a champion. And you could argue he's been the first champion manager to take over Spurs. I think he's going to do a good job there. A lot of people believe because Levy's a tight ass that he's not going to get the signings that he wants, and that'll cause a lot of friction. But I have got a sneaky feeling that Jose is going to be a success at Spurs. Is he a long-term solution? Well, he doesn't seem to stick around, and that's something obviously that needs to be debated. Poch is a more modern manager as well. I think you have to say that. I can see Poch going to Bayern Munich, so I think all around you've got to say Mourinho is a good person to have in place of Pochettino. And like I say, as long as the board work with him, I think he's going to be a success there. And I think the fans will actually, I think he'll grow on the fans. I just hope he doesn't play dinosaur football, but he's coming into a squad that's already good. Obviously, he's got a goal scorer in Harry Kane, decent squad all around. Players like Son, who I think are amazing. And I think it's an interesting one. I'm so happy to see him back in the Premier League ultimately. A lot of people wanted him to go to Everton. But I think for him, this is the perfect move because I said earlier it's time for him to prove himself. And I don't mean that as in he's not already one of the best managers in the world. I mean it in the fact that people are saying he's finished. And I think now this is make or break for him. I think it could really work out for the better for Jose Mourinho. And at the end of the day, he's got points to prove. He's got critics to answer to. And where better to do it at a club? I've got a brand new stadium, a good backing of fans. And like I say, hopefully the board back him.
I agree with you. To be fair, he's like that ultimate villain that they've been like he's been killed off in a soap and he's been brought back. Yeah. But you love to see him. Like people hate him, but you love to see him. Like he is such a good man. He's a fantastic manager. So to have him back in the Premier League, it's great for everyone. I think really he's one of them people that you want to have in your country's league. But I think for Spurs, we can't just judge it over this half of the first season because he had a bit of a bad spell, and rightly so. He's probably been years gone by. They finished second in the Premier League. They pushed Man City. I know last season they ended up finished fourth. But they really have. He really has taken that team as basically as far as he could get them. But I don't know. I do like seeing Jose back. So
yeah, that's my opinion really. I think Pochettino did a great job, like you say. I think he's a really modern manager. Tactically, I think, like I say, he's done a fantastic job. He's gotten to a Champions League final, and 5 months later he's being sacked. I think it's harsh. They have been playing so poor lately, though, and it shows a bit of fight and a bit of, obviously, high expectations from the club. And like I say, I'm happy to see Jose back. However, you've got to feel for Poch. He's done a decent job there. A lot of United fans are already saying they want him at United over Ole. Personally, as I've already said, I don't want to see Ole get sacked. I'm not really the sacking type. I don't want us to become the sacking type. However, you've got to feel a bit tempted about Pochettino coming to United. I think it's an attractive move, and it's definitely one. If it doesn't work out for Ole, Poch is the guy that I would like to come in.
I think Poch is destined elsewhere now. I think really. I think either Spain or Germany. I can see him going out there and managing. I can't see him coming to United right now. I think that ship sailed. I think if we were going to go and get him, we would have got him in the summer. But for me, I think Ollie's safe. I believe we should probably keep him at least till the end of I think we should give Ollie at least till the end of the season.
Yeah.
And I think by then Poch will probably find himself in another job. He's a great manager. He's a good coach, so I don't think he'll be, he won't be short of offers. But I don't think it'll be for Man United.
Yeah, and I think as well, personally, talking about Pochettino, like I've already said, I think he's going to go to Bayern Munich. I think that move is lined up for him, and I think that might have been part of the thinking with what Tottenham have done and how fast this obviously has gone through. I mean, yesterday obviously he was sacked all of a sudden. Jose, they haven't wasted any time in bringing him in, and that tells me that he's already got another job lined up. And I think it's going to be Munich, which is obviously a big move for Pochettino as well. I'm just going to delve into the chat, see what a few people are saying. Mark agreed with me. He said Pochettino to Munich, guarantee that Soph. Elias says no, Kane, Son, Moura will play centre back, so he's obviously saying Jose is going to instill that defensive mentality there. I want Ollie to show Jose who's boss. There's a lot of pressure now on Ollie's shoulders, to be honest with you, now that Jose is at a club that are only a few points behind. It's an interesting one. Sully says Poch in all the way, so I'm guessing he means at United. I love this from Mazzarulli. He says, even as a Liverpool fan, I can't lie, this show is unbelievable. Love you both. Thank you so much for that. Very positive comment. Appreciate it. Spurs needs Champions League, says Demar. And that's another thing for Jose as well. He's coming into a team that are obviously already in the Champions League, which I think, again, is a massive boost for him. And like I say, I think it really is the ideal job in terms of Jose Mourinho improving a point and getting back at his...
At Old Trafford in a few weeks against Spurs, that is going to be huge. I think there's going to be so much pressure on Ale going into that game, because if he loses that against Mourinho and Spurs, not only is that 3 points gained for Spurs in the league, but where does that leave the process for Man United? That was our old manager. We've got this new manager that came in. We got rid of him for this guy, and where does it leave us? We're still losing. So it's going to be a huge game, that one. So we'll just see in a couple of weeks. But interesting couple of weeks. I think when you get a new manager, it's like fresh, isn't it? Players start playing better.
They'll have a boost, won't they? They'll have that boost, that new player boost, new manager boost. Sorry. And yeah, I completely agree. What I will add, because this kind of ties in with one of the questions I had, but we'll link it, is all the United fans are all of a sudden saying, "Oh, I hope Jose going to Spurs means Ollie's going to get sacked and Pochettino comes to United." I will never wish for a manager to get sacked, and I still fully back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, we all have doubts and we all question some of the subs he makes and how we're playing. But you've got to back the manager. Like, I would never say, oh, just because Pochettino is now available, that's it, we'll just get rid of Ollie straight away, get rid of him, ditch him. At the end of the day, he's a club legend, he does deserve a bit of respect. And as you say, I think he deserves a little bit more time. I'm not saying obviously all is well and we're playing good football, but I still think he deserves a bit extra time.
I completely agree. If we sack Ollie now and bring in Poch, we're in completely the same situation as we were last season, where we got rid of Jose and we brought in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it'll be the same again and the same again, and we'll be turned into one of these clubs where we turn over managers within a season, and that's not what I want to see. I feel like if you're gonna give a manager time, you may as well allow Ollie to be that person. He has started selling the people that we don't want, the players that we don't want to see there anymore. There have been changes in terms of like tactics. That he's not been great at them at the moment, but when you're trying to completely reform a team or from bottom to top, you can't do that within one season. It's going to take a couple of seasons, but I just believe that we should be giving him to the end of the season at least. And like I said, by then I don't think Poch will be about to have the United job.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I'm going to read some more of the chat. So Matthew McFadden's in the chat. Hi Matthew, hope you're good. He says the Premier League just got 10 times more exciting, although come the 4th of December, we just know Jose is going to shit out a 1-0 at Old Trafford. You know what? That game has just got far more exciting, hasn't it? Far more exciting. Matthew also says Ollie's recent positive form has come at the perfect time for him. If he didn't get some wins and entertaining games in the last month, then I reckon the board's head would have been turned. Yeah, I completely agree with that. But now we've hit that positive form, it feels a bit harsh to just all of a sudden dismiss him. Saeed United Central is in the chat as well. Appreciate that. Saeed is saying yes, girls. Pochettino in. Make sure you go and sub to his channel as well. Some fantastic content on there. However, he's very harsh on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the likes of Marcus Rashford as well. So prepare for that. But yeah, he's definitely one who wants Poch to come to United. So it's an interesting debate. But for me, I'm still going to say I still want Ole to be given time. Even though it is hard sometimes and you're pulling your hair out because you're so boring to watch, I just kind of want to give him that because I don't want us to keep replacing managers when it's obvious that the problem runs a lot deeper than that. But Pochettino coming to United is a very attractive option, definitely. Right, I'm going to ask a question now, Meg, to you. All right, and then again in the chat, come and answer, come and obviously feedback. But this one is a bit of a random one. Okay, this isn't to do with football as such. If you could invite 3 people to a dinner party, who would you invite and why? And this is a hard one. You know what? I've written this down and I thought at work earlier. I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a think about that today, and I've completely forgot about it. So I literally haven't had a think. So 3 people. It doesn't have to be footballers. It could be any celebrities. I'm guessing. It could be me if you wanted to, Meg. But I'm just saying. Nah, any 3 people. Who would you choose and why?
That's a really tough question. Only 3.
Only 3.
The first one would be David Beckham.
Why?
Why? Because I think he's just incredible. I'd like to just sit opposite the table to him and just stare at him personally. But on a footballing basis as well, that man's played in the Premier League, he's played over in Spain, in America, he's played everywhere. In Italy, like, I just love to just have a conversation about football terms with him.
Yeah.
Just, and also like the gossip on like Victoria Beckham as well, and the Spice Girls. He must have some secrets from the Spice Girls.
Maybe.
So David Beckham would be one. I'm really struggling to name 3.
Shall we keep it football?
You give me one.
Shall we keep it football based to make it a bit easier? Shall we do that? So we'll keep it football based to keep it easier. So you said Beckham was your first one. My first one, I'm going to pick Sir Alex Ferguson.
He would be my second.
Because I just love to talk about.
That's my second.
I just love to talk about all the stories. Obviously, he must have some legendary stories, and talk about obviously his success at United. Yeah, so Fergie would be my number 1 choice, definitely. And I just think like I could listen to him for hours talking about all the experiences he's had in life, and I think he'd be completely fascinating. I watched the documentary where he's talking to people in like a business class. It's on Netflix, I think, and even that fascinated me. And he's talking about business, like something I literally have no interest about. And I just think this guy has just got so much respect across the board. Like, he just fascinates me. So yeah, Fergie would be my number 1 choice.
Okay, so I would take Fergie as my second choice. So I'll give you my third would be Wenger. If I had been Alex Ferguson, I'd have Wenger with me. Because I would love the pair of them in a room. So imagine having dinner and having them pair of like managerial legends, and being able to hear like, all their stories and their like intelligence about football. Just a pair of them together. So I'd have them pair, and then I'd have David Beckham. But Beckham would have to sit opposite me.
Interesting. So you would have Beckham, Fergie, Wenger. That would be your 3 football people to share a dinner with. Oh, so I've already gone with Fergie. My next one, I'm going to say, this is tough, I'm going to go with Zlatan. He just cracks me up. I think he is the guy. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I think he's class. He's funny. He says stuff like, I just feel like, who else has the audacity to do that? And again, he's been around. He's been at some top clubs. I think he's well experienced. He's still playing today, and he knows everyone. Like, he must have some stories about celebrities, and like you say, have a bit of gossip. And I think he would share that gossip as well. I think he would definitely dub other people in and talk about them. So Zlatan would be my next one. Oh, third choice is difficult. Fergie, Zlatan, which is an awkward one anyway. Like, imagine how awkward that's going to be at the table. Fergie's not going to approve at all, is he? And then my next one, oh man, this is tough. Gotta be someone who's alive today, innit? So it's like, man, maybe Jose Mourinho,
Would you?
Again, I'm interested to hear like the stories, people who've been around and people who've obviously they're big in the game, they're big names. I mean, Paul Scholes, as you know, is an idol for me, but I do think he would be boring sat around the dinner table. No disrespect to Paul Scholes, but he's quite shy, isn't he? He strikes me as being quite shy. So I think Mourinho would be a decent one. So yeah, I'm going to say Fergie, Mourinho, and Zlatan would probably be my 3. I'm going to have a look in the chat and see what people are saying as well.
Someone's just put Fergie, Zlatan and Mourinho in the chat
yes,
as well.
Matthew has put that in. Yes, he has. That's going to be me. Ilya says, for me it's Fellaini, Jones and Luke Chadwick. Love that. Matt Johnson has gone for Sir Alex, Sir Bobby Charlton and Casey Stoney. Casey Stoney is an interesting one, to be fair. I went, Bobby Charlton. That's another, again, the stories, the history. Matthew says, I'll cheat and invite 3 players from the team I support in Arizona. That way I'll be eating American food. and talk to proper good people, not potentially spoiled millionaires. Interesting, definitely. Fellaini, though, around the table. That's an interesting one. Oh, Evra. Someone just mentioned Evra as well. Patrice Evra would be a good one. I think he'd be a good laugh.
He's one of them characters, isn't he, that you'd like a bit like Zlatan.
Yeah.
You know, Evra's that kind of... He's got that fun side to him. But that'd be an interesting conversation, I think.
I agree. And the thing with Fergie as well, you're going to get a good quality red wine, aren't you? Because he obviously is a big wine connoisseur. All the managers after the game, he'd give a nice bottle of wine and talk about the match. So I think that's another thing that Fergie would bring to the table, as well as his experience and everything else. He'd bring a decent bottle of red wine. Seymour said Ronaldo, CR7, Fergie and Rashford. Rashford's an interesting one because I kind of get that because he's obviously down to earth, he's humble, he's played with some of the top players at the age he's at as well. So I could understand why people would choose Rashford.
I think that's quite a good range as well.
Yeah.
You've got Rashford, who's still quite young and he's still playing at United. You've got Fergie, who's managed, and then you've got Ronaldo, who's been at United and hasn't had developed a relationship with Fergie, but then he's still playing elsewhere.
Yeah.
So they've still got connections, haven't they?
Yeah.
But that would be an interesting meal.
Yeah, it definitely would.
Take them through.
Yeah, I just want to shout out P. Conrad as well. He said he got scouted by Crystal Palace and he's so excited. So best of luck to you. Congratulations for being scouted. And obviously best wishes for the future. Don't forget about me and Meg, obviously, when you're famous and that. Maybe we'll be inviting you to our dinner table at some point. Who knows? LSC says, can't wait for the weekend. Jose football is back. I am excited to see Jose. West Ham as well is a big game, obviously, for his first game. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Right, let's move on, Meg. You can ask the next one.
Okay, I had a question on Twitter that said, if you could have one past United player, bring them into our squad now, who would you choose?
Ooh, one past United player. We're lacking a bit of creativity. Cantona strike comes to mind for me. Cantona is one. George Best obviously has to be another one as well. And you also have to think as well, we need a bit of a battler in there. So people like Roy Keane come and strike me as well. You have to choose one now. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna say Roy Keane. I think a lot of our players need a rocket up their backside, and I think he's the guy to give it to them. I don't think there's any people like that in our dressing room right now. And ultimately, I think that players need to be told what they should be doing. There needs to be a fear factor there. We don't have that. So I'm going to say Roy Keane. Who would you say, Meg?
It's an interesting one, really, because I agree with you that I feel like we need someone who's going to dictate, a leader. We're missing that. And I wouldn't mess with the front three at the moment, and I wouldn't really mess with the defence. The only other one I would do is Ferdinand, I think.
Yeah, that's an interesting
someone to put Vidic as well. Vidic or Ferdinand.
Yeah. I mean, we'd all love Ronaldo back, do you know what I mean? It's really hard to pinpoint one. I think I'm just saying what I feel we lack the most. And we lack a lot. We lack a lot. Yeah.
You'd have to bring a central player in. So and a leader. So it'd either be Vidic or Ferdinand at the back or a Roy Keane player in the middle.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. I think I'm going with necessity. Matthew says right wing Ronaldo, Keane or Vidic to partner Harry Maguire. So again, going for that's leader at the back kind of thing. So yeah, I can't really argue with that. Alice said he asked you a question on Instagram. We haven't got through them all yet. We will most likely get round to your question. Don't stress. And Surinder also agreed with me. Roy Keane would be the guy that he would get back. And it shows obviously a lot of people agree with us that we're lacking a leader massively, and that is more important than anything else right now. Which says a lot. Right, I'm going to ask one. A lot of people have heard my story, but you haven't heard Meg, so I'm going to ask this one to Meg. How did we both end up supporting Manchester United? It was mainly aimed at me because obviously I'm from Wolverhampton. But so, like I say, already people have heard mine, so I'm going to let you start with that one, Meg. What made you support Manchester United?
I was just brought up in a United shirt. Every time, I was interested in football from a young age, and I come from a family who all supported Manchester United, so I didn't really have much of a choice. Not that I would have chosen anyone else, but I was just brought up supporting Manchester United and wearing Manchester United shirts, and therefore watching them week after week, or and hearing about them, reading about them. So that was how I got following them, really. My only other person, my grandpa supported Aston Villa, so that's in my whole family. that's the only other team that kind of had a slight influence on who I would support. But I just grew up in a Manchester United shirt, so that's where I went to.
Perfectly fine. So me, of course, I'm born in Wolverhampton. My dad is a massive Wolves fan. But growing up, I was born in '92 for one. So growing up, United were obviously ruling the world in terms of football. They were always on TV. I always had an interest in playing football, and because my dad was always watching it. My dad has a soft spot for United anyway because they were so good. But because they were always on TV, I used to watch a lot of, obviously, Paul Scholes, my idol. And then I wanted to pass like Paul Scholes, and for me, he was the reason why I got into football in the first place. So Paul Scholes, I would say, is the main reason why I support Manchester United. And obviously, once you get the bug, you can't get rid of it. That's why you love Manchester United. And my dad would always take me to United games most weeks. I still remember the first time walking out to Old Trafford now, and that feeling, it never goes away really. Every time you go back, you still fall in love with the ground and in love with the club. So it's mainly from, like I say, watching football growing up. Paul Scholes was the reason why I started playing, and obviously I managed to play for England and play for Wolves and play at a high level for a long time, and I'll base that all on Paul Scholes. If it wasn't for him and it wasn't for me watching the class of '92 growing up, then I wouldn't have played football myself. So they're a big inspiration for me, and that's what made me fall in love with them. And I see what other people are saying here as well. United was through my cousin, Rangers on the side when I was younger because of my granddad, and Phoenix because of Big Andrew. Yeah, I've got a soft spot for Phoenix now, to be fair, because of Andrew. And if, what's this one? Should people with threats who shape racist stuff be allowed to games? That's an interesting question. Nothing to do with this, but that's a hard question,
That's a really, political question to ask.
It is. Because at the end of the day, look, they can't help that obviously, unless they're medicated or whatever, but they can't help it. But how do you know if they've got that? Do you know what I mean?
I would say there must be...
Yeah, that's awkward. A really awkward one. Josh Can says, what do you think of Gareth Bale's disrespecting Madrid with his Wales flag celebration?
There's quite a few memes going out about it now. There's loads of things. I've seen a Mourinho one that's just put Spurs, Chelsea, United, in that order. There's loads of things going off online about it all now. I actually thought it was a joke. I saw a picture and I thought, someone's kind of joke about it, because I didn't actually see the game.
Yeah.
So I was just someone's edited the flag to look like that had happened. And then I'd seen a video of it and I was like, it was real.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen this flag, so talk to me. What has actually happened on this? I've heard a little story, but I haven't seen it.
There's a Welsh flag that he's holding up whilst they're all celebrating, that has got, above the dragon, it's got Wales, golf, Madrid, and then below it, it's got in that order.
Fair enough. I
mean, it's brave. I'll give him that. It's brave.
He also swore, didn't he? He also swore on camera as well. Maybe the emotions just got the better of him yesterday.
I've seen that as well. I think he just was too excited. But
yeah, bless him.
The flag situation, I just think, if that was a Man United player, slightly disrespectful. So I would have to say that it's disrespectful to Madrid. But we all can see the picture that's being painted, that Bale's not happy there.
Yeah.
So
I would
I think
argue
he's just
as well.
trying to get himself out the door.
Yeah, I think he's been disrespected by the club many times as well. I think he's been treated poorly. He scored some massive goals for them. Zidane obviously is basically frozen him out at times. And I think he's been treated badly as well. So, you know what? From that basis, it's hilarious, really. But they're paying his wages at the end of the day, and you have to be professional at all times. And you could say that is a bit, obviously, where it's not professional. Is it banter? Did he realise what he was doing? I'm sure he'll come out and deny that he had any knowledge of it, but I think we all know what he meant by it.
I think it's great for someone else to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
If it was a Man United thing to be dealing with, we'd be probably raging. But because it's not our team, carry on. It's great to watch from the outside.
Yeah, let's see what other people are saying about it as well. So we've got Bale's flag was brilliant. Thought it was photoshopped at first, like you did, Meg. Matt Johnson says, given the treatment Bale has had from Real Madrid, I thought it was hilarious. Jake says, brilliant from Bale. He's been treated terribly by the club for years, and despite what he's done for them. Piston Header says, Gareth is treated badly by Madrid, so it's only obvious. And Clash Devil says, Spurs fan on Twitter are happy that Jose wants Bale back at Spurs. Interesting one. Michael says, evening Soph, don't want Poch at United. And Mark Robinson says evening Soph and Meg as well. Relationship there. I think we have to wait and see on that one. And Michael says Ollie is the right man for United, but needs to be backed, and it's Woodward I do not trust. And then P. Conrad, this could be one of our Q&As, Meg. Out of all the Manchester United youth, who should be promoted?
I mean, he's already made a couple of debuts, but I quite like Gomez. I'd like to see more of Gomez. I know, he's been in and out of the team, but for me, I'd like to see him on a more regular basis, playing in the squad, and getting more game time. So I know that he's been about, but I'd like to see him a little bit more.
You know what, Gomez is the player that you see him flicks, and I think he's technically he's sound. Obviously, he's got quality touch. He's a very intelligent player. His dribbling is superb, but I just think that he looks a bit lightweight. He's very small, isn't he? But he's another one that I'd say I'd like to see more of. I'm the same with Greenwood as well. I'm very wary of us overhyping our youth, because I think that happens a lot, and there's been a lot of pressure on their shoulders when they've been asked to come and perform in a team that's underperforming. But I would like to see more of Gomez. I think he would be the guy that I would definitely say I want to see more of as well. Greenwood, I think he's getting decent amounts of time at the minute, and I think he's getting the right amount of time for the age that he's at for his development. Like I say, he's coming into a team that is underperforming, but Gomez, I think, deserves a bit more time in the first team. Go on, Meg, if you've got any more questions, I'll treat that as one of mine.
The one that I got over on Instagram was your best player in the last decade. Now, I presume this doesn't have to be Manchester United, and then a decade is quite a long time.
It is.
But, yeah, best player that's been in the Premier League in the last decade.
Ooh. I mean, Ronaldo is the one that strikes me, and I am biased, and I'll hold my hands up and say I am biased between Ronaldo and Messi. So Ronaldo or Messi would be my two choices. I think they're the obvious choices, really. Ronaldo has been in the Premier League, so he probably tips it. But I think we're so lucky, we've said it before on here, Meg, we're so lucky to be in a generation where we can say we've witnessed both of these players play. But purely because he's been in the Premier League and he's been about a lot more, I'm going to say Ronaldo is the best player of the generation. Who would you say?
I think if we're talking about the Premier League in the last 10 years, I mean, someone should put it in the Jake has just
purely
put Aguero.
Premier League.
The person who asked me on Twitter, on Instagram, they put Aguero as well. I think because he's played for so long and he's still playing, and he's been so consistent season after season after season, he's got to be up there. I think it's a really good call for Aguero.
Yeah. I think if you're talking players who have solely been in the Premier League, then of course Aguero is a fantastic shout. And I mean, he's banged so many important goals for City. Aguero still rings in my head every time. I hate it, but you have to hold your hands up and you say, you know what, he's a top class striker. His quality. I think if I had to choose someone in the Premier League alone, I think Aguero would be up there for me, definitely. So yeah, I've got to agree with that shout. Right, one completely off football. Right now, what is your favourite song?
If you want to have like a soul-searching moment, you'd go for like a Lewis Capaldi song.
You want to cry?
But I am going to go, I really love having a great sing-along to any song by Mabel. I think she's got an insane voice. So, like, my go-to songs, I always go to her. But the new Captain Conan album's been released, and I, listening to that in the gym. Or, I don't know. I'm gonna go. Mabel's my favourite artist. So
we'll treat it as an artist. Right. For me, you've already mentioned Captain Conan's album, so I'm gonna put it down to that album alone. For me, every single song I absolutely love. I booked tickets to go and see them because I think their album is superb, and I think it actually is going to be one of them albums that you listen to for years to come. So yeah, I'm glad to say G-Love, probably off Captain Conan's album, is my go-to song at the moment. But I have such like a vast variety in music taste. Like, I'll listen to all sorts, like mad. I can't even explain how varied my taste in music is. But if I'm pinning it down right now, I'm going to have to say G-Love off that Captain Conan album, because I think it's so good. It's like my go-to at the moment. But like I say, I could have chosen probably any song off that album, to be honest. So, yeah. And then that's me my favourite artist at the minute then, definitely. Meg, well, you can ask the next one.
So I had one back to Manchester United.
Yeah.
When Pogba comes back, would you be happy to still carry on playing Fred?
I think if Paul... This is awkward. I think if Paul Pogba is fit and on form, then he has to start because we all know what he's capable of. However, if he isn't playing well, and if Fred's training well and he deserves to keep his place if he's performing well, then for me, like, just because it's Paul Pogba, just because he's a name, he shouldn't just walk back into the team. I think it should be purely based on performance, like it would be for anyone else. I don't think just because you're a big name, you should walk back in. So I think it depends really on how Fred is performing. That would be my honest opinion. I think right now, Pogba being fit, should he walk straight back in when we're in a good vein of form? Probably not. Yeah, I think he needs to be treated like any other player should be.
Fair enough, I completely agree with you. You took words straight out of my mouth.
I know there'll be a lot of people out there who say, oh, Paul Pogba is fit, he needs to play, etc, etc. But for me, like, if a player's coming back from injury normally, you would ease them in. They get a few minutes towards the end of each game. Because it's Paul Pogba, is he going to walk straight back in? And I personally don't think that is the way that it should be. Especially with the fact that apparently he doesn't even want to be at United. Of course, we can only speculate on that. But surely it's got to be down to the way that he's training. Obviously, if he's making an impact off the bench when he first starts coming back into fitness. And based on Fred's performances as well, if you're talking about Fred being replaced, it's not fair to just brush him aside when, to me, he's finally finding his feet in a United shirt. So to just brush him aside just because Pogba's fit, I think that would be really harsh.
Completely agree with you. I think, like, you have to base it on form. You can't just say that, on paper Pogba is better than Fred, but on form right now, if you look, Pogba's not been playing and Fred has been playing. I know Pogba's injured, but if you're going to base it on form, that's what you say, isn't it? That who's played better. So,
I'd agree.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
This is a good question for everyone to get in the chat as well, get involved in. So, if you could choose a squad out of these two, who would you go for? So we've got 1999 Manchester United squad or 2011 Barcelona squad. That is a difficult one. And Meg, of course, I will let you answer first. And just to give you a bit of an idea about the players that were in that Barcelona squad, I've got a lineup against Manchester United around that time. So they had Victor Valdez in goal, and then they had Dani Alves, Mascherano, Piqué, Abidal, Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta, David Villa, Lionel Messi and Pedro. That was their team. And then they got the likes of Puyol, Bojan, Adriano and Thiago on the bench. So if you could choose one of them, and obviously you've got the 99 United squad as well. I know what I'm choosing, but...
it's hard because it's like that 1999 squad was so good at that time, but then if you put them in like 2011, they wouldn't compare to that 2011 squad. I think Barcelona 2011 would beat that squad if they had to play a game.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you go, I think purely based on the fact that the players were better, you'd probably go Barcelona, but there's so much like that 1999 team that you just love, that they've got like the more passion and that whole team. You just want them back, but I don't know.
I think
I don't know.
So you've gone Barcelona on talent?
I think I'd go Barcelona.
I'm gonna.
As much as I don't want to, I don't want to, but I'd go Barcelona.
I know I'm so biased, but I'm gonna say 99. For me, that squad had everything. I miss it massively. I miss watching 99 squad play, like you said, and I've already mentioned they were the reason why I started playing in the first place. So the 99 squad for me has got to be the one. However, that 2011 Barca squad was something special. And like you say, it's different generations. I think football moves. We all know how football moves. Not at Old Trafford, but 9 times out of 10, football does move on and move with the times. But, yeah, it is a really difficult one. I'm going to be biased and I'm going to say 99 because, like I said, they have a special place in my heart, personally. And they made me fall in love with football in the first place. So on a personal note, I'm going to have to say the 99 one. However, it's really hard to call. I think it depends what angle you look at it from.
So I have seen a question on the chat which I think is hilarious. Where's it gone? It was about going in the jungle.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I think Mark put that. I was going to go back to that in a second. Mark Robinson said, "Would you both enter the jungle and do I'm a Celebrity?" You've asked. I'll let you start.
I would love to go to the jungle, but I wouldn't be able to. I'd like a hotel.
That's cheating.
I'd like 4 solid walls around me so that nothing could get anywhere. But I would like to do the challenges.
Okay, I'll answer it as well. I would love to go in there, like you say, for the challenges. However, I would be awful. I hate creepy crawlies. The only thing I think I'd be alright with is snakes, and not a lot of people are like, oh god, snakes. I think I could deal with snakes. But any kind of creepy crawlies, like that cockroach in his ear yesterday, for example, no, I could not do that. I couldn't. I would be doing worse than him. I mean, he was just making that really funny noises, like, ooh! I would be so much worse than that. I can't do it. I would be like, watching it, I'm like, no, my ears, like, I couldn't imagine that feeling of something crawling into your ears, so I think I'd be entertaining. I think I'd be hilarious, but I would give it a go. It would kill me, but I would give it a go. So yeah, I would do it. I would do it. We'll talk about jungle a little bit actually, because obviously I know you're a fan. What's your opinions on Caitlyn Jenner?
She's 70.
Mad.
Like, what 70-year-old jumps 15,000 feet out of a plane like it's nothing? Hops in the jungle, does all these challenges, sleeps on the floor. I mean, fair play to the woman. Yeah. She is. I mean, there's loads of things being said about her, and I think it's completely banged out of order.
Yeah.
The fact, that people, Bruce Jenner was trending on Twitter. Like, it's not Bruce, her name is Caitlyn.
Yeah.
But I would just give her a round of applause, because that woman is doing way more than what the majority of England are doing. The majority of people wouldn't go out and jump out of a plane like she has, and she's 70. So, yeah. Fair play. I think she's a bit of a hero right now.
I'll add to that though. To be fair, she's got to be paid a fair whack to do that as well, because she's got to be on mad money to do it. So she's a hero, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure she's taking a good reward from doing it. But yeah, I mean, I have seen some of the comments and stuff as well, and like you say, I mean, everyone, in my opinion, each to their own. Everyone has their own choices in life, and if you want to do that, that's completely fine. But I will say is that I think she'll be good for obviously all the challenges and whatever she's taking part in, because she has got the attributes. She's an athlete at the end of the day, and I think she's going to be really useful in the jungle. And for her age, as you say, wow, like I couldn't believe it when I heard how old that she was. And I hate any reality TV, so like the Kardashians and anything like that. Like I literally cannot stand it. So I'm really surprised that I've taken to her. I really think she's entertaining. I think she seems really lovely. She's getting on with everyone in there. And at the moment, I have to say that she's my favourite. I thought it would be Ian Wright, but at the minute, Caitlyn Jenner is tipping it for me.
I agree with you. I think I was a bit like, a lot of the footballing wheels like Ian Wright's going in, but I think she just really surprised me. When you're 70, Soph, I'm going to put you on a plane and chuck you out, see how you get on.
I couldn't do that now. Not now, but let alone then. But yeah, that was a really good question, actually. I like that one, Mark. I would do it. I would definitely do it. You know what? I think I would like to do it. I would like to do it for charity as well. Like, I don't know. I think, one, I know it would be entertaining, but two, I would like to do it for charity. So, like, with rewarding people. It's a bit of an incentive for me to do it then. I'll do all the bush tucker trials and stuff because it's for charity. Do you know what I mean? So, I would like to do it, definitely. Let's see what other questions I've got. I've got loads based on United, but I think we've covered a lot of them in our chats, to be honest with you. This is a good one. If you could relive any year, what year would it be and why? That's a good question.
Are we talking about footballing season?
Just says if you could relive any year.
I'm going to base it on football.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's an obvious year. I'm going to relive the 1999 season.
Yeah.
But now, because me and you would only have been 7 at the end of that season.
Yeah.
But I'd like to go through the emotions of like an adult being able to remember it properly. I mean, I remember bits and I remember that night.
Yeah.
Like, I remember where I was, I remember everything about it. But I want to experience. I'd like to experience it as an adult so that I could remember it for longer.
Yeah, you know what?
I remember more of it.
I would completely agree with that. One, I would love to relive it so I could get tickets to actually go and watch it, because that must have been a mad experience in itself to go back to that final and be there. So yeah, I think I would agree with you. 99, the year where we had that amazing squad, we've already just mentioned that. Yeah, the best year, really. I couldn't even comprehend it. Like you say, I was 7. Like, if I imagine that nowadays, I know it's easy to compare with how poor we are now and how depressing it is at the moment. Of course, when you're thinking about that, you're thinking about how magical it could be. And I just think about little moments, for example, like the Rashford penalty against PSG, and it gives you an inkling as to how people would have felt back then. It would have obviously been that times 100. I mean, look how excited we were then. I mean, it's just mad. So yeah, I agree. I think it would be the 99 season. Yeah, I'm just jealous of everybody who was old enough to be there to witness that in person. I think it's just a mad experience and something that'll be talked about forever. Next one. What is your favourite food?
Food?
Yeah, it's hard to choose one meal.
If I was like on death row and had my last choice meal, I'd be having
Death row.
Bye, the sweet and sour chicken Cantonese style, and a bag of prawn crackers.
Can I just add to this? Like, Meg is the only person I know that if you had a Chinese takeaway, she'd order prawn crackers and egg fried rice and nothing else. Nothing else. Who does that?
I'd be full and I'd be happy, but I would like I don't know, like a cheesecake after it or something.
Yeah. Favourite food? That's difficult. I'm trying to think what I love from favourite food. If I'm on death row, what do I choose? You know what? I'm gonna go with a good steak. Steak and chips.
How are you having it cooked?
Steak and chips. You know what? I used to be well done. I was a right wimp. Well, I'm better now. I'd have it more of a medium now. I'm harder. I'm tougher. So yeah, I think a steak and chips would probably be my go-to meal now. Definitely. But I'm a wimp with like spicy stuff or anything like that. I'm bad. Everyone laughs at me for my bland taste, to be honest. P. Conrad says, who's better on FIFA, me or you, Meg? We need to play each other. We should do a live game where we should stream it, actually. That would be a good one.
I'll give you a clue, it's not me. I'm not great on FIFA.
I've not seen you play. I've not seen Meg play FIFA, but she's saying I'll be better than her at FIFA. That's one in the pipeline. Once my PlayStation doesn't sound like it's going to blow up, we'll do that. We'll do a stream where it's just me against you, a few games of FIFA. I think that'll be entertaining. We get our audio on there. What's that?
I'll have a drink first.
Have a drink. That'll slow down your reactions, though. Slow down your reactions. Definitely. I play games. Says afternoon, ladies. Afternoon to you. Lewis, I don't know if you've ever watched The Office, Meg, but this made me laugh because it's a quote from The Office. I don't know if you've ever watched it. He said, "Will there ever be a boy born that can swim faster than a shark?" That actually cracked me up. I like that. Meg,
I've watched The Office, so I've got no idea what you're talking
You've got to watch The Office. You're missing out. You've got to watch it. It is hilarious. I've just read a question. P. Commentates, so thoughts on Mark Goldbridge's charity stream on Saturday. I did meet up with Mark on Monday night. Congratulated him. I think it was fantastic. Definitely something that I would like to do in future once my channel grows and is big enough. I'd like to raise money for charity by doing that. And yeah, fair play to him raising money for a good cause. I think it's a brilliant thing. Did you see that, Meg?
I didn't catch up on it, sorry. I mean, mum duties caught up with me at the weekend. I did not stop, so I haven't had a chance to catch up on it, but I would like to.
Yeah, I mean, I dipped in and out of it. I wouldn't say I was there for 24 hours, but I dipped in and out. And like I say, he raised over £10,000. Fair play to him, I think it's great. P. Conrad says bye, he's going swimming now. Bye, P. Conrad enjoys swimming. Someone said the Herrera loss is the reason we have struggled so much since PSG. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's the sole reason why we've struggled. I think there are other numerous ones. I think that might be an influencing factor. Herrera was a great player.
He had that tenacity, didn't he? He had that tenacity.
But I wouldn't say it was the sole reason. But I do think it's just a factor of us not playing as great right now.
I would agree with that. Right.
I have one off John on Twitter, and he also messaged me on Instagram about it. It was, is Ali safe at Spurs with Mourinho, or would you take him at United?
I wouldn't take Ali at United, if I'm honest with you. I think he's overrated. I think Dele Alli, for me, because he's English, I think he gets hyped up. It normally happens. I genuinely think James Maddison is a much better player than Dele Alli is. I think that in flashes we've seen it. I remember watching him in a friendly against Germany, where he showed the true quality that he does have. However, I think it's in spells after that. I don't think he's consistent enough. He has got that bit of bite in his game where he can be a bit of an arsehole as well, but I do think it's good to have that bit of bite sometimes. I wouldn't want to take that out of his game, but for me, he's got to be more consistent. And in all fairness, he has had his injury problems of late as well, which haven't helped his form. But yeah, if I had to choose Maddison or Ali to come to United, I would choose Maddison any day of the week. Ali would not be the guy that I would go for from Spurs. I think I'd probably go for Eriksen over Ali right now, and Harry Kane, of course, would be the obvious one, and Son. I wouldn't go for Dele Alli. I wouldn't touch him. What's your opinion on him, though, Meg?
I think he's still young and he's still got potential, but he's like you said, he's one of them players that plays on the edge. And I just don't think he would fit in United at the moment. I don't think he'd fit under Ole. But I think he's out of form, isn't he? So
yeah,
if he came kind of back into form, I don't think we'll see. Maddison, they're kind of odds-on favourites to get top form. We're not. So I'm not sure why Maddison would probably leave Leicester.
Yeah, no,
United right now, especially in the January transfer market. I just don't see it happening. So yeah, I don't know. I think if he can find that form that he's been on in the next coming months until the end of the season, it would be an interesting one to see what his price was like at the end of the season and how, or if we get anybody else.
Yeah, and Mark Robinson said Ndombele is the player from Spurs that we most need. Jake says Ali has regressed a lot over the last 12 to 18 months. I think he has regressed, I would agree with that, but I think a lot of that has come down to his injuries, to be honest with you. But yeah, Dele Alli for me, he shows in flashes, like I said, he's not consistent enough. And yeah, I think in this moment in time right now, he's not the guy that we need. Like you say, I think because we have seen the potential that he has, if he can live up to that and if he can maintain consistent form, then maybe the situation would be different with him. But I haven't seen it on a long enough period for him at Spurs, to be totally honest. And that's why I say no, I wouldn't have him. Maddison would be the guy that I would choose. Robbie Stones has said he would take Winks from Spurs. That's an interesting one. I do rate Harry Winks. I think he's a very good little player. I remember when I first started playing him and he first come on the scene, and I remember saying he looks very, very talented. I do like Harry Winks, but is he another one again where it's a young English player who's just going to be overhyped? Like Declan Rice, all of a sudden, he's not as good as people first made out.
Yeah, I think he's going to be one of them, isn't he, where we, what we do in England, we find a young, talented player and we think they're going to be the next big thing and they don't turn up to it. So,
yeah.
He's good at the moment. I'm not sure whether he's great at the moment.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, definitely. Thank you so much, guys, who have tuned in for tonight's show. I think it's been a really good one. Loved all the questions that people have been asking us. I think we'll do another one of these, definitely, in future. So thank you to everyone who has sent in a question. Like I say, it's sparked some really good debates in the chat as well. It's been really entertaining, some of the questions you guys have put. And as always, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Much love to you all. Of course, we can't do this without you, and I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to Hairdryer Treatment. Thank you so much, Meg, for coming on again.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for all the feedback and all the questions. Like Soph said, like the video, subscribe to Hairdryer Treatment. You can find us on Twitter to ask us any more questions, and we'll see you soon. Yeah,
thank you, guys. Thank you. Like I say, socials are all in the description of the video, so if you want to go and add Meg, go and add myself, go and do that. As always, I wish you have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. And go and subscribe, hit that sub button and drop a like on the video. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. See ya.